What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and baby, let's get into the drama of it all because we got a lot to talk about. So let's get into it. So let's start off with Bethenny. So I saw this blind item and then I saw this video. Bethenny crazy. That's all I got. Bethenny is crazy. So it comes up like this. It says, speaking of awful people, this former housewife thinks everyone should know who she is. Why? Because she was on a reality show a decade ago that on its very best week had maybe 1 million people watching it. And she was one of the 6th or 7th or 8th people on it. Oh, because she has a TikTok. She gets so upset when no one recognizes her or bows down to her. This is a person who misses being on television. So everyone already knew this blind item was about Bethenny, bro. Because there was this video going viral, like I think on Tuesday or Monday, where Bethenny walked into this like local, I want to say like maybe it was like a grocery store or like sandwich shop, and she was talking about their chicken salad, how she's pumped millions of dollars into like advertising their chicken salad, and was upset that nobody knew who she was. So let me play that video for y'all.
I'm looking for the VIP farm stand treatment. I want the back entrance. Let's go. Whoa. Security. I should have brought security.
So I had to clip out this part of the video because I got a copyright claim for the music that was in this piece. So I tried to enlarge the video so you could read the subtitles, but if not, Bethenny is basically saying she wants a big reaction, that she's helped move thousands of dollars of food to this establishment, that people are going there based off of her recommendations online and maybe word of mouth. But honestly, when she was talking, I thought she was talking about like a restaurant, but really it looks like a local farmer's market or a local grocery store, and she wants the co-workers to notice her, but they pay her dust because at the end of the day, girl, who are you to them?
Nothing. I think we have to cancel Brown Swamp chicken salad. I was actually in shock. I thought I'd go in there and someone would like say hi. I can't believe it. Did you see that? You guys saw it. I walked in there, every person at the store was talking to me, and they're like, I'm buying this because of you, but the people that work here, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with, she said they don't care. Say it out loud to the people in the back. They don't care?
They don't know who you are?
They don't know who I am. Why? Why?
So when I saw this, you guys, I promise you, I thought this was satire. I genuinely thought this was satire. I thought Bethenny was joking. Like, I was like, oh, she's playing. But then one of my mutuals was like, no, girl, I think she was on TikTok, like doubling down on it. So I didn't go on TikTok, but I went on Twitter looking for like her talking about it, but she didn't have any current tweets. And then I also went on Instagram, and she didn't speak about it on Instagram or her Insta stories, but I didn't go over to TikTok. But I can believe that Bethenny did double down on it. And I'm just like, you take yourself too seriously. Also, as much as I enjoyed Bethenny when she was on the scene on Real Housewives of New York, she's not like a staple like Luann. Like, Bethenny is somebody, and she did put Bravo on the map, but she is not as well like as like Luann or like Sonia. Hell, even mean ass evil Ramona, I feel like people would see her and probably have a bigger response to her than Bethenny. And I'm just like, girl, it's not like, and I'm trying to think about other famous housewives. It's not like you're the grand dame. You're not Nene. You're not Candy. You're not a Kenya or a Cynthia. You're not, who else? Girl, I think people would even freak out if they saw Heather Dubrow or like Shannon. Let me think, or Teresa, even Melissa, people would freak out. But I don't see people freaking out when they see Bethenny Frankel. I just don't see people having those types of reactions to her. So I'm just like, Bethenny, you play too much. So let's move over to Real Housewives of Dubai. So it looks like things have gotten pretty heated with Caroline and Brooks. So I was scrolling on Instagram and I see this statement that Taleen posted, and she added Caroline Brooks, and she said this: I just woke up to absurd accusations. When will add Caroline _ Dubai keep my name out of her mouth? You would think she would be tired of it at this point. Me and my family are not racist. We would never stand for that. Stop reaching. As Armenians, we have been persecuted for generations. Stop this BS immediately. It's defamatory lies, and I won't have it anymore. Go focus on your businesses and get off of X before I take legal action. Nothing ever good comes out of it for you. It's pathetic. #RHO Dubai. So I saw this and I said, oh Lord, what does Brooks do now? Like, what does she do now? But then I kept scrolling on Instagram, and All True Tea basically found how this all started. So it's pretty long, so buckle up. So remember, if you have watched my Real Housewives of Dubai review, the recent one, in the spicy corner, I read this tweet off by the guy named Rennie 2.0, and this is what the person said: have you guys noticed how boring and unimportant Taleen has been for 4 episodes since she hasn't been fighting with Brooks' chaotic ass? #RHO Dubai. Then this person named Rami Nasaro ends up commenting under this post by saying, at least she didn't banish her kid to boarding school just so she could F around. So then I guess somebody was defending Brooks, and he responded to that person, who I'm guessing is a black person or a person of color, by saying, you both are cockroaches for justifying a mother selling her son out for bullshit. Scum finds scum, I guess. And you're talking out of your dumbass about her being a crackhead. That's all you and the clowns got going for you. Gaslighting BS. So then Caroline finds out he talking, so she says this: I think I'm missing a message here, but who is a cockroach, Remy Nazaro, and who sold their son, and who is a crackhead? Clarify before I drag you in them. Try me. You might throw jabs at fans, but I will annihilate you. Go ask Rafi. So then he responds to her saying, and the only thing your dumbass is annihilating is yourself, dumbass. So it continues with other fans jumping in. A person by the name of Yikes says, calling black people roaches in 2024 is crazy. And then Remy responds by saying, ha ha, and the pathetic race hustling comes out. The only racists here are the people, including black people, who tried to pull out the race card. Pathetic woke clowns. Remy's a racist. Anytime I hear anybody, a white person or a person of color, use woke in a derogatory term, you're anti-black and you're racist. That's the undertone that you give, and that's what Remy is giving. So then Yikes responds to Remy by saying, okay, weirdo. So then he responds by saying, woke gaslighting assholes like you are nauseating. And then Yikes responds by saying, okay. I like not even trying to engage with the person. So then a user by the name of Messy G's OG's Chin says, wow, whoa, racism, Remy? Does hate and racism run rampant in your family? Your posts show us who you are. Disgusting, attacking a cast member and a fan over a TV show. #RHO Dubai. Taleen and Rafi need to stop the hate behind the scenes. So then he responds to this person by saying, you are a race grifter, a race hustler, and it's pathetic. I'm not racist. You are the irony. So then this person responds by saying, you are the one who's calling 2 ladies all kinds of names, just the facts. Spew more hate. Seems you do that often. So then Remy responds to this person by saying, how entitled people think just because of the color of their skin or their gender. Do you think because you're a lady, you're allowed to talk out your ass about people and no one can say anything? No one can say anything. What a bunch of clowns. So then he goes on to say, incident: Brooks faced criticism for her decision to send her young son to boarding school with dictators, questioning her commitment to his upbringing, giving her busy schedule and public lifestyle. This has raised concerns about her priorities as a mother. Impact: And then it got cut off. So then he continues by saying, and I stand by what I said. You think I'm racist because your dumbass is racist and woke douchebags like you can't run a lemonade stand, let alone a country. Yeah, he is racist. He is racist. You think you're scaring me? F you, you cockroach racist like you doesn't scare me. You're trying to make all black people look bad, but not true. Only you and your woke waste hustling pathetic friends are cockroaches. And so then Caroline Brooks responds to this person by saying, these clowns, right, who the black people are campaigning, think they can't run America. The audacity, Rami. Keep going. Hashtag racist. Hashtag RHO Dubai. Look at Rafi's family on Twitter. Shame. And it was basically a tweet of him saying, these clowns, he said these effing clowns think they can run a country. And it's basically D.L. Hughley's speech at the DNC where they're endorsing Kamala Harris to run for presidency. And so then to prove that what was said that like that this person is in connection to Taleen, Brooks finds a screenshot of Rami wishing Taleen a happy birthday. And he says, happy birthday, Taleen, wishing you an amazing birthdays, kisses to you and Rafi XO. And I guess he started to private his account because now his tweets are limited. And Taleen liked this liked his birthday post, and she says, and then Brooks says this, Rafi and Taleen, get your family. You guys are not very good at this. Rami Nazaro, this is a mistake you will regret for a very long time, you racist pigs. Now I'm exposing all of you. Done. And then that's when I guess Brooks responded to Taleen after she made that statement about seeking legal a counsel against Brooks. And she said this, Brooks made a statement saying at Taleen, she says, it's quite the irony that after your husband's history of bullying minority groups online, you're trying to bully me. I stand by everything I've said and have proof to back it up. I'm also disappointed to see you make baseless accusations to defame me, especially after all I've done to support you and hope you achieve your dreams. Any actions you wish to take, please proceed. And that's where it ended. Girl, they doing too much. The show's ratings aren't even that high for all of this drama and commotion. And I don't even know if they gonna get picked up for a season 3. But it just shows how, you know, sometimes reality TV can ruin things for people. But we do find out that the season finale of Real Housewives of Dubai is going to be on September the 3rd. And the reunion will premiere on September the 10th. I was going to end the video right here, but since I got the copywritten claim and had to re-edit my video with the Bethenny video, I saw that Taleen had an updated response where she said this to Brooks, and she added her. She says, I am disgusted that me as a minority has to even address racism since I am Armenian. We have been persecuted and discriminated against for decades. So have black people, Taleen. So saying that, not to discredit the discrimination and persecution, but saying that doesn't really invalidate what this person who seems to be connected to you did. It said, Rami Nazaro is not my family member. I have no control what anyone says or does online, nor am I responsible for their actions. You've been in my family for 10 years. She has a point there. She goes on to say, my children call you Aunt Caroline. I've opened my home to you. You know damn well none of what you're saying is true. Nice try though, Brooks. Now please stop thinking about me and talking about me 24/7 with your false, I think she means connections or accusations of stories. It's becoming obsessive. And this will be the last thing I'll say because quite frankly, I just don't have time for the online back and forth battles. So here's my thoughts. With this new information, new thoughts come. I do, again, feel like, they doing a lot for this show to possibly get canceled or never be brought back or be rebooted with new people because the ratings, like I said before, are not good. They're really not good. Honestly, I think they should move them to Peacock and allow them to build a fan base there and have a resurgence because people really like the first season. I wish they would have kept Miami on Peacock because I feel like they did them dirty once they moved them to the network. But hey, who knows what Bravo is truly thinking. I will say I think Taleen did the best thing by trying to distance herself from this person because he's definitely anti-black and a racist. But the whole statement about like, I'm disgusted as an Armenian woman, I have to address this, girl, that means nothing. There's no POC solidarity. There's no true POC solidarity when it comes to people of color, because oftentimes black people get shafted in the end. So you can miss me with all of that, but it does say a lot about Brooks, like how Taleen said, we've been friends for 10 years. And yeah, in 10 years, all of a sudden she became racist and you decided to still be friends with her, Brooks. It's weird. It's weird. I'm not saying that like she hadn't probably faced microaggressions with Taleen, but now that y'all are not friends, you're screaming racism. It doesn't look right. But I will say in this moment with this person, I believe that she was well within her right to defend herself because he was being a racist. He was being very anti-black, calling people roaches, calling her out her name, just because he didn't like that other fans didn't agree with his opinion and that she said something to him because he was questioning her mothering. So it is what it is. I don't know what's going to happen for Dubai, but it looks like their season is definitely very short because it's going off in the like on the second week of September. But let's move on to something else. So let's talk about Brandi and Andy. So Brandi did an interview with the US Sun, as well as she actually released the FaceTime video that she was talking about that Andy had left for her, where she said when Andy was like, I made a joke about, you know, them watching, like letting Brandi watch him have sex with the lady. So let's read the article. I have the clips and I'll play them for you. So the article says this: caught on camera, blurry-eyed Andy Cohen slurs his words as he demands Brandi Glanville watch him have sex in a video she called disgusting. So it says, Andy Cohen has been caught on camera demanding that Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum Brandi Glanville watch him have sex with another Bravo star. In the video message that Andy sent Brandi, the Bravo boss holds a drink and slurs his words alongside below deck Kate Chastain. It says, in the clip exclusively obtained by the US Sun, Andy says, Brandi, we have something to tell you. Kate chimes in, hey, bitch. Brandi execs continue, the Bravo exec continue, we are effing tonight and we're gonna talk about you the whole time. Slurring her words, Kate says, so essentially a threesome. Andy laughs. Actually, if you're around in like 90 minutes or 2 hours, do you want to watch us on FaceTime? Andy turns his head to Kate. Would you be cool with that? And she responds like, yeah, FaceTime. Yeah, strong Wi-Fi. Andy then repeats Kate's words while pumping his eyebrows up and down before signing off. Love you, Brandi, and raising his glass to the camera. So let me play that video for y'all.
We have something to tell you. We're tonight, and we're going to talk about you the whole time.
So it's like a threesome.
So it's kind of like a threesome.
We're a throuple.
Actually, if you're around in like 90 minutes or 2 hours, do you want to watch us on FaceTime?
Can you get here?
Would you be cool with that?
Yeah, FaceTime, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Wi-Fi, strong Wi-Fi.
Yeah, strong Wi-Fi.
His Wi-Fi is strong.
Love you, Brandi.
Love you, bye.
So that is the video that Brandi sent the Sun. So the article continues with Brandi saying this. It says, Brandi's response was equally vulgar. However, she explained that she felt she always needed to match Andy's energy in order to keep her job. The Bravo star wrote back, oh my God, my two favorite people. I love you. See you next Tuesdays. Trust me, you're going to want me there. If you're having sex, I have a magic PUSSY. To which Andy responded, so I heard. I was mortified. In an exclusive interview with the Sun, the US Sun, ex-Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Brandi Glanville says that Andy sent her the video in June of 2022. I received a text from Andy and it was a video he made. And in the video, he said that he was going to have sex with Kate and they were going to be talking about me and thinking about me the whole time. And if I was around, do I want to watch? I was mortified. This was my boss. He's my employer. This isn't the first explicit text or email he sent to me, but it's worse. But but this is the worst one. So it goes on to say, Brandi 51 explained she was working a work setting when she received Andy's message. Andy was at a work event in south of France with Kate. It was a Bravo upfront kind of thing, and I was doing press for Ultimate Girls Trip in LA. I was in a work environment. I had a hairstylist doing my hair, and when I opened the text, I tried to shut it off. I was so mortified and embarrassed. Like, does this guy think I F my boss? Does this guy think I F my boss to get a job? It says, because that's what it sounds like he's gonna think about me having sex while he's having sex with someone else. Does this guy think I sleep around to get a job? That's how I felt, and it's just taking a toll. The whole thing has been horrible, the 51-year-old mom says, adding Andy did not look sober. Brandi said the experience made her feel awful. I feel like lesser than, and I feel like I'm expendable. This is why I think Brandi is doing this, just like Leah. I feel like they both feel some type of way, that they feel like they were expendable by the network. So now it's giving very much disgruntled employee, in my opinion. So it goes on to say, I feel like because of my more desperate money situation, he thinks that he can do and say whatever he wants to me, and I'm not going to rock the boat or tell on him because I need the money. It goes on to say, Kate shared a TikTok from Morocco in June of 2022, in which she and Andy, along with other Bravo stars, were seen partying on a yacht. Kate and Andy wore the same outfit. In the video, he said Brandi. The Below Deck star captioned the TikTok, "Rosé literally all day." The article then goes on to say, Brandi lawyers up. So Brandi previously accused Andy of sexual harassment in a legal letter she fired to the Bravo bosses about the video. In the letter, Brandi's lawyers wrote, Ms. Glanville herself has been a victim of sexual harassment by Bravo by none other than Andy Cohen. In the video sent by Mr. Cohen and to Ms. Glanville in 2022, Mr. Cohen appears to obviously be inebriated, boasting of his intentions to sleep with another Bravo star that night while thinking of her and inviting her to watch via FaceTime. Mr. Cohen was Mrs. Glanville's boss at the time and exercised complete and total control over her career. This was an extraordinary abuse of power that left Mrs. Glanville feeling trapped and disgusted. It is inconceivable that Mr. Cohen remains in the position in spite of this behavior, and harkens back to the bad old days of Matthew Lauder at NBC Universal when profits were prioritized over people. The 56-year-old host took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to apologize for his behavior. The video shows Kate Chastain and I very jokingly to Brandi. He said in February of 2021, it was obviously meant in jest, and Brandi's response clearly communicated she was in on the joke, and that said, it was totally inappropriate and I apologize. It says Brandi believes that the Watch What Happens Live host preys on talent more in financial vulnerable situation than others wealthier co-stars. He likes to prey on people. I say prey because the more desperate you are for the money in the check, the more he mistreats you and gets you to do any and every and say anything that you never would say to any other housewife. She explained further, this is my boss. Like, has been my job for 13 years, so I treat it like a job. He's in charge of whatever I can put food on the table or not, and people think I'm rich. I am not rich. Other housewives are rich. I literally live check to check. So let me play the clip for you guys of her actual interview, which I think this is that's the rest of the actual article.
Text me saying that he wanted me to hook up with his stage manager, and I almost felt like, do I have to do this? Like, you know what, it's like, what the f***? I mean, I couldn't sleep. I'm like, do I have to go and throw myself at this guy to please my boss? Like, what is, I mean, obviously I didn't do that because I have but he doesn't have boundaries. He was saying, I want you, my employee, to f another one of my employees. And then also, by the way, I think you should f Austin. He has eyes for you. Like, your boss should never talk to you that way, especially knowing that we are not friends. We do not hang out outside of work ever. And we are at a work event. And I felt this tremendous amount of pressure to please him, but that was too far. I'm not going to go and sleep with someone. He literally thought I would do it. That's the disgusting part. And as my boss telling me to sleep with another employee he employs, he's got problems. He really was like pimping me out. I mean, it felt that way. And like, what, I'm supposed to go and hook up with these guys and tell you about how the sex is because you told me to? That is a different kind of boss. That is a pimp. I am not a hooker. You are not my pimp. And I feel like he, even just suggesting that to me, has some issues that he needs to resolve. Because who the f does he think he is? Does he think he's God? Does he think I'm going to run off and spread my legs because he told me to? And I think he thinks that. I would never do that, but I think he thinks I would. Otherwise, why would he say that to me? Why would he text that to me? Like, it's very brazen. Like, are you that stupid that you're texting employees about sex? Like, he does not care. He doesn't think he's going to get caught. He thinks he can do whatever he wants. And so far he has. The last thing I want to do is talk about my ex-husband, number one, especially his penis size. Like, what are you doing? And so, but you're on his show, you're playing by his rules, you have to answer the question. So I was like, you know, I said, oh, he's a 9, he's great. And that being on television is one thing, but then the next day he starts emailing me to try to get more information about my ex-husband's penis. And this is privately, this is not for public consumption anymore. This isn't like the joke that he was supposedly making. I don't even think it's funny. It's not a joke. That's just weird. But to follow up and ask more questions, in that moment, I knew I had to put up with it. I knew that this was going to be our relationship. I've been dealing with very sexually explicit texts and emails for over a decade, and none of them were jokes. And I had to act like I wasn't bothered by it, because what if I said, you're disgusting? You think I would ever work again? Or f off? No. I would be dead in the water. He was like dangling the carrot. It was like, oh, here's $5,000 to do this, and here's we think we're gonna bring you back. But like, I feel like for him, my life is a joke. I think that Andy wants me to take over and conquest like the people that he can't because they're straight. So I'm like his like little sex worker. And I'm not, I'm sorry, I'm a mom of 2. I've been in 2 long-term relationships my entire life. Like, I'm not what he thinks, what he's made me into in his head. I'm not that. And I have to play the role, and it is disgusting. Andy has asked me to tell him about the people I have sex with and who has a big penis, and he also has asked me to tell him what I've heard about his sex life. He's been incredibly, like, it's just not boss behavior. You don't get to do that to me. I don't have to tell you this, but I'm going to because I need a job. That is abuse of power. It just is. It's like, I feel like a freaking prostitute in a weird way. Like, it was such an odd question for me because I knew one of his boyfriends, but he wanted to know everything I knew. Like I have some inside track on, I mean, how many people did he sleep with? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, how many are there? I know one ex-boyfriend. That's it. He's like, well, I know you know everyone. And I'm like, I don't know if he was just fishing for information. Like, I don't know about his sex life. I don't want to know about his sex life. Almost like, I felt like in a weird way, he was wanting me to repeat stuff back to him. It got him off in a weird way, which I said, I really don't, if you read the text, I go, I really don't know anyone except for Marco. Like, I know nothing. But it's like, he's, in his head, he's just this god, and I should know everything about, you know, he's definitely got a god complex for sure. I feel like Andy created a character that he wanted me to be, and I became that character because, again, I need to work. This is the only job I've had since I was married, and my husband took care of me. So I don't have a skill set, unfortunately. I didn't go to college. Like, I have to continue to do this, so I have to play ball. And if that means people thinking horrible things about me, which my real friends know are not true, then I just have to deal with the public perception. We will be filing a sexual harassment lawsuit.
So if you would like to continue reading the article, because I don't feel the need to read anymore, because basically the clips that I showed you guys, is what the article is about. I'll definitely link it below so you can read it for yourself. They also attached text messages, but it was so small. Like, I don't understand why they just didn't magnify it. But when you zoom in, you see them talking about some other person, another castmate, or maybe another employee, as well as you see Andy telling Brandi, like, oh, you should hook up with Austin. He is he has the eyes for you. They also, I think one of the text messages talks about Eddie's penis, her ex-husband or whatnot. Now, I'll say this before I give my commentary, for real. I do think Andy is in the wrong, because at the end of the day, he is a boss, or not a boss, but like he is a supervisor and he holds a very high title in their company. He probably isn't signing their checks, but he's basically like a manager of the people in the Bravo, like, celebrity sphere. So he should not be blurring lines like this or crossing boundaries. So he is wrong. But I'm looking at Brandi like, girl, you're reaching. And it is very much giving disgruntled employee, in my opinion. Because even with the video with Kate Chastain, all it's giving to me is two drunk people calling their friends. Now all of a sudden Brandi is like, you know, I was mortified by it. And you can play it both ways. Like, she could have been mortified by it and didn't want any parts of it, so she engaged into it because she was worried about her job. Or she was in on the joke, and now that she is struggling financially and is not in good terms with the network, now all of a sudden it's an issue. It's a problem. Like, she's mortified and she felt like Andy was trying to pimp her out. Then you have the whole Austin thing. We've seen Andy try to matchmake with the people. Should he be doing that? No, but it's not really given that Andy was trying to whore Brandi out to me. It really isn't. And I slightly feel bad for the lady, because you can clearly tell that she's struggling, and she really does feel like the network just discarded her in her time of need, and she put in all of this work being such this character for Bravo, you know, going to BravoCon, being a part of Beverly Hills, you know, showing up for them when they need her, and now when she needs them the most, they throw her to the wayside. But what I have learned, like a lot of people who work in the entertainment industry, these networks are not your friends. Even when you think they're your friends, they're not your friends. Everybody is replaceable and everybody is expendable, even their best employees. So I feel as though Brandi needs to figure out a different plan, because I really don't think she's going to get what she thinks she's going to get out of this. Like, I feel like if they do give Brandi money, at most, it probably will be like, maybe like, I could see like $80K, but $80K to like Bravo might be like 88 cents or like $8. It's not going to be enough for Brandi to sustain her lifestyle. So she has to find a different way to go on about her life. I get that she doesn't have any other discernible skills like she said in the video clips, but at this point, girl, you have to find a different way. And I think you should be more concerned about the lawsuit with Caroline Manzo than Bravo, because I feel like Bravo is going to settle with Caroline and probably give her a nice, cute little check. But you, on the other hand, I don't really think you're going to get anything. And if they settle with Caroline, maybe Caroline might set her sights on to you, girl. But who truly knows at this point? I just feel like Brandi needs to find a different way. So yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic, and definitely hop down in the comments below and share your thoughts with me. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.